Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So here we are doing a diamond paint with me. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, and I'm kind of excited to do it for you guys. There's so many tags that I want to answer. So in this video, obviously I'm going to be diamond painting, and let me see, I'm going to be working on one of my new images. This one is Legend of the Wolf by Gloria West. This one, I don't know when this video is going to go up, but I did that launch the day that I'm recording this. It was last weekend. So the tag that we're going to be doing today is from Rachel Ray. She's been doing this tag called 200, what is it? 200 questions to ask to get to know. It's 200 not boring questions to ask to get to know someone better. And so she's kind of just been doing them in sections, and that's what I'm going to do. And I actually like the website actually has the questions broken down by, it looks like they have that, yeah, they have them broken down by subject matter. And so I'm kind of just browsing and trying to see. So I think we're going to start with like the general likes section that has a lot of questions. That has 40 questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep coming back to this video, or I mean this question list, until eventually we get through all of them. And I think I'll title them whatever the questions are related to. So like this is the likes and dislikes section. So I will probably have 2 videos related to this. I don't think I'm gonna have time to answer all 40 questions. So maybe 2 videos for that. There's a section on career. That'll be a whole video by itself. Actually, there's quite a bit. A section on family. Maybe I'll just pick and choose because I don't want to answer any political questions or religious questions or anything like that. So yeah. All right. Also, there's gonna be some Stitch With Me's coming up because I really want to answer the tags that Moonshine Crafter has been putting out. I've just been holding it off. Also the Rolodex tag. So yeah, right now I'm working in the bottom right hand corner. I just picked a spot to start because I really want to get into these reds. I don't know, I might jump around on this canvas. Also, you guys are really zoomed in, so camera is currently behind where I'm laying the drills down. I'm going to be standing on this side and laying the drills down, but that's okay. It shouldn't matter to you guys. You should still be able to see just fine. So let's get started. So well, actually today is June 3rd. Again, I don't know when this is going to go up. Obviously, we're still in quarantine. Everyone is still panicking, and I have just been wanting to do something to kind of get people's minds off of everything that's going on. I don't want to imply that it doesn't matter, because it does, but at the same time, like, we have to move forward. And so that's the best that we can do with what we are given. And that's what I'm doing here. Mystical Diamond Art has been doing really well, and I'm so happy to be able to provide my services to you guys for Mystical Diamond Art. We've got a lot of good things coming, good things in store, and I'm excited for it, and hopefully you guys are too. So anywho, let's get started on this tag. So the first question is, what is your favorite way to spend a weekend? Honestly, before, pre-pandemic, my favorite way to spend the weekend was mostly at home. It's still my favorite way to spend the weekend, but I do, if we're talking pre-pandemic, my ideal weekend consists of, at least we went and watched one movie in the theaters. We loved going out for breakfast on Sunday mornings because there's a local restaurant here that we absolutely love to go to, and it serves some of the best menudo in town. Love going there. We have not been there since the pandemic hit. And they're not on DoorDash, so we haven't been able to do that. And then I We usually make dinner, duh, like once or twice. Sometimes we go out to eat. But honestly, that's my ideal weekend. And then, of course, still fitting in stitching time. My ideal weekend consists of at least going to the movies once and at least going out for menudo once. What type of music are you into? So I like all types of music. As a kid, I was a little teeny bopper. Obviously, I only like, I'm not even drilling, I'm drinking my coffee. Obviously, as a kid, your taste in music's pretty singular. But as a kid, I listened to all of the teeny bopper music, Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. The earliest music I can remember getting into was Spice Girls. And that was right around the same time that Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were battling it out. And of course I liked them. Then of course the boy bands. I've never been one to like R&B. I still don't really like R&B. I don't know. I like some old school rap, not a lot of it. Let's see what else. I do like country. I like Spanish music. I like rock music. I like all genres of rock music. I like the loud screaming kind. And I also love hair bands, Nickelback, almost all aspects of rock music I thoroughly enjoy. I know that sounds probably really weird, but it is what it is. Then coming from Hispanic culture, you know, I grew up listening to a lot of Spanish music, and I still enjoy it. You know, Selena and Juan Gabriel and Los Tigres del Norte, all that kind of thing. My husband still listens to all of it. So yeah, let's see. The best vacation we ever took and why. I don't have a lot of vacations, to be honest. There's two that stick out because they were probably the biggest vacation. I mean, I don't count like little trips, like if I'm going to see my mom in Arizona or if we're going to a baseball game or anything like that, because we've gone out of town plenty of times to do things. One of my favorite ones was when we went to, honestly, it's hard to choose because all of the major trips that I took were very meaningful because it was the first time that we did a lot of things. So several years ago, we went to Pennsylvania and we spent the summer there. We went to Maryland, we went to Washington, D.C., and then of course we were staying in Pittsburgh, so I got to explore all of Pittsburgh. And then we also went to Philadelphia, and we went to some baseball games there. Washington, D.C. was a major, my computer turned off, was a major one for me because I wanted to, seeing the Washington, seeing the Lincoln Monument was on my bucket list, and I got to see it. I'd still love to go back to Washington, D.C. because there's so many things that we didn't get to see. We didn't have time to do the archives, and we didn't even get to explore like every section of the Smithsonian. So I'd really love to do that. It was really difficult because my daughters were babies at the time. My youngest wasn't even 1 yet, and my other one was 2. So it was hard. It was very difficult to do all of that stuff with babies. And then a couple of years ago, I think 3 years ago, my husband and I went to Chicago together, and that was amazing. It was the Cubs playoffs, and it was so much fun. My husband and I were kind of in a hard place in our relationship at the time, and it made some aspects of the vacation unenjoyable, but it was the first time both of us had been to Wrigley Field. It was the first time we'd gotten to see it. No. It wasn't the first time we'd been there, but it was the first time we got to go in and watch a baseball game there. And it was just amazing. And we got to experience it together, and that was awesome. And then a couple of years before that, we actually went, it was probably the year before that, this all happened the same year, Chicago and the time we went to Los Angeles. So we went to Los Angeles a couple of years ago as well. And that vacation will always stick out because it was my first time going to the beach. I had never seen the beach. I had never seen the ocean. We went to the Santa Monica Pier. We ate at Bubba Gump's. It was a lot of firsts. We got to stay in some amazing Airbnb apartments in downtown LA. It was so much fun. We were there for the 4th of July. It was an amazing experience, and it just, you don't forget things like that. So I don't recall, like as a kid, we never took vacations. My wax is overflowing and I have to fix it. As a kid, we never took vacations, and so it's like everything that I'm doing as an adult is a lot of firsts for me because of that. So that was a really long answer for that one. Let's see. What's the next place on your travel bucket list and why? Oh man. Honestly, it would depend. I wouldn't call it the next place because I don't have them in order. But honestly, something that's probably more feasible is going back to Washington, D.C. and seeing the archives. There's already a bunch of lint on my canvas, and seeing the archives again because we didn't get to do that. I'd also would very much like to go to the Pacific Northwest and see the Space Needle and do stuff over there. I'd love to go on like a nature thing. Alaska, I'd love to go to Alaska and do something there. What else? This is stuff that I haven't done yet, and there's still stuff that I'd like to do again. Like I want to go back to Chicago and watch the Cubs play. So, but that's no longer on my bucket list because I've already done it. I just want to do it again. I wouldn't mind seeing Niagara Falls, but it's not like a must do for me. Like I'm not gonna die and regret not going, you know, even though it is an amazing sight. Oh man. But if time and money weren't a factor, and of course COVID, then it would be going to France and Italy and England. I would love to do some kind of like massive trip to see all of those things. I'd love to see Stonehenge in person. I'd love a private tour of Stonehenge so that I can get up close to it and touch the rocks. I know when you do like a normal tour, you're like so far back that it's ridiculous. I don't even know if you can get that close if you're on a private tour, but I know you can get closer on a private tour or on a private, I don't know what it's called, but they have it. I want to see the Eiffel Tower. I want to do all of that stuff overseas. I'd love to see Ireland, New Zealand, places like that. And obviously, because I have children and, you know, it just, those kind of vacations are a little out of reach for us right now, especially with small children and the cost of doing a trip like that. And not only that, but my husband's, he's honestly never been interested in going overseas. And so it's never been like on our agenda. It's not like it's been unreachable for us financially. We could have done it. It's just, he never wanted to. What are your hobbies and how did you get into them? This whole damn channel is about my hobbies. Cross stitching. I got into cross stitching because of diamond painting. I fell down that rabbit hole. I honestly don't even know what I saw first. Oh, it was the Super Mario pattern that I got free off of, what's that? Gamer Forum. I don't even know how I came across it. I just did, and it was over. After that, I wanted to cross stitch all of the things. That was I believe that was the very first cross stitch piece that I started. And now I'm thoroughly obsessed diamond painting. They started selling diamond paintings at Walmart. I started getting ads in my feed for diamond paintings, and I went and bought some of the ones at Walmart, did them, loved it, and was wanting to buy more. And of course, by the time I start getting into diamond painting, Walmart decides to stop carrying them. And I was never a big fan of the Diamond Dots kits that they carry at like Joann's. mostly because they're hella expensive and they're all partials, and I don't like partials already, and so I'm not gonna spend freaking $50 on a partial. I'm just not. Disney character or not, I don't even like Disney as much as, I don't know, a normal person would, I guess. I don't know. I also love reading. My mom has always loved reading. I think I've shown you guys my bookshelves before. If not, you guys have seen them behind me in some of my older videos. And I love reading. I love collecting books. I love the way books smell. It's really weird. My dream job's probably working. It's not probably. My dream job's working at the library or delivering mail. I don't know why. What was your favorite age growing up? I don't have a favorite age, to be completely honest. I just don't. I don't remember a lot of my childhood before like 6 or 7 years old. I remember bits and pieces. My mom says my mom had a first husband and he had 2 boys, and those boys and I just didn't get along. And my mom says that that's why I don't remember a lot of my childhood during that era of my life, because I don't know, I guess subconsciously I blocked it all out, because there was nothing that stood out that I needed to remember. I was picked on a lot. They would lock me in the bathroom and take the light bulbs out of the light when I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. And that's horrible to do to a 4-year-old child. You know, those things like that. My mom said that I just like blocked it out because I didn't have anything good to remember. And maybe that's the case. But I honestly don't have a favorite age. I think I really enjoyed probably 16, 17 years old, back when the economy was pretty decent. I had a job, a full-time job. I went to school, I went to high school full-time and made a decent paycheck. I bought all of my own things. I could probably live on my own. If I hadn't been underage, I probably would have been living on my own because I could have afforded it. Making $5 an hour, I would have been able to live on my own. Things like that when the world was a little bit simpler. Back then, I have some extra wax that fell off. I think that was probably the best age because, you know, I could drive. I had some freedom to do what I want. I didn't have any responsibilities. Still living at home, so I didn't have a lot of bills, so I spent my money on myself. You know, things like that. That's honestly the only thing I could think of. Like, I can't think of an age that I would want to go back to. Oh, my computer went off again. Trying to find my spot. What was the last thing you read digitally or in print? So I'm still reading the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. But if you want to get technical, it's this Q&A that I'm doing. No, or a textbook because I'm still going to school. But the last book I read, I don't really read. I tried Audible and I just can't. I start zoning out and I don't pay attention, and then I don't know why. I don't know what they're talking about anymore, and I'm not listening. I just have to have a physical book. So, yeah, Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. I'm still on book 2, haven't finished it. I'm almost done with it. I don't need that much. I really should just hammer it out and get it over with. So the next question is, would you say you're more of an extrovert or an introvert? And I think you guys all already know the answer to this, is that I'm a major introvert, big time. I talk a lot on this channel and answer a lot of questions, but I'm a major introvert. I'm quiet. It takes time for me to talk to you in person and to get to know you in person. My husband's not. He's very loud and boisterous and not shy at all, and I'm the complete opposite. I'm the type of person that my husband's a big goofball and does a lot of dumb stuff in public, and I get super embarrassed by the stuff that he does, and that's just how I am. I'm a major introvert. It's not that I don't like people. I'll still go, you know, I'm still comfortable like going to the bar and having a drink or something with my husband, and I'm okay with that, but I lean more towards introversion. My favorite ice cream topping, I don't have a favorite ice cream topping because I very rarely eat ice cream. If I do, it's, I guess, fudge. But honestly, I can't even remember the last time I had ice cream. It's been months. I'm just not a big ice cream eater. What was the last show you binge watched? Riverdale. Last night. I watched 6 episodes straight last night. Before that, it's Charmed, because I'm still working on Charmed 2. Are you into podcasts, or do you only listen to music? I can do podcasts. It just really depends on the podcast. Currently, I don't listen to any, and I don't have one that I follow. But I do listen to music as well. The podcast thing is mostly because it's easier to listen to music when I'm doing something like cleaning than it is to listen to a podcast, because if I'm going to listen to a podcast, it's usually a psychological podcast because I'm going to school to be a psychologist. And I don't necessarily want my young children listening to stories of abuse or stories of mental disorders, because they don't understand, because like my youngest is 6 and I just don't want to expose that to her quite yet. And so that's like my whole thing with podcasts. So I mainly, if my kids are around, I listen to music. Let's see. Do you have a favorite holiday? It's hard to pick one. I want to say Halloween, but we don't even go trick-or-treating. I love the atmosphere. I mean, we do go trick-or-treating, but I have small kids, so we go during the day. I love the atmosphere surrounding the time between October and December. It just feels so magical in the air. There's a different, or I don't know how to explain it. Anybody else who loves the holiday season probably understands. I don't know what it is. And it's not like, oh, I love giving gifts on Christmas, or I love getting together with my family, because I do enjoy those things. But the whole atmosphere surrounding it, leading up to it, is just, it makes me feel so happy. I don't know how to explain it. Fall is my favorite time of year in general. And I just love the whole season of fall. I honestly think a lot of it has to do with the cooler weather, because hot weather makes me very grumpy. I hate to sweat. I hate to be hot. I just want to be comfortable. You know, my husband says because I'm a spoiled brat. Then whatever, that might be the case. But there's nothing wrong with not liking heat. That's why I don't want to live in Arizona, because it's like the Phoenix area, southern Arizona, because it's too damn hot. The next question is, what's your death row meal? And honestly, I've never even thought about that. But I think I'm going to have to go with the classic steak and potatoes. It's not my favorite meal, but I don't have a favorite meal. Like, there's nothing that I will repeatedly eat. Actually, it would be tacos. Tacos, you guys, people who aren't like as educated on tacos call them street tacos. I don't want to say educated, but people who don't make tacos or aren't familiar with the different types of tacos, I guess I should say, call them street tacos, because they're generally the type of tacos that you get from like a food truck. Here in, my town, because it's a heavy Hispanic culture, they're just called asada tacos, because asada is the type of meat that you put inside of them. That's probably my death row meal. Do you like going to the movies, or my cat? Do you like going to the movies, or do you prefer watching at home? I love going to the movies, but I like at the same time I don't, because of how expensive it is, and I have a big family. But I love going to the movies. My favorite sleeping position's on my stomach or my side. I tend to switch back and forth between those. My go-to guilty pleasure? I don't think I have one, to be honest. Crafting? Yeah, I'm going to say crafting, because not everybody likes crafting. and it can be quite expensive. So I'm gonna say crafting. Let's see. In the summer, would you rather sleep with the window open or blast the AC? That depends on where you live. I have lived all over. If I lived in Colorado, now I think I mentioned this before in an older video, but when we lived in Colorado, our house didn't even have an air conditioner, because the older houses in Colorado don't have air conditioners because you don't need it. I'm completely okay with that. Open your window, turn the ceiling fan on, and you're perfectly good to go. Whoops. However, if it's here where I live in New Mexico, southern New Mexico, it gets hotter than hell, over 100 degrees regularly in the summer. I would not want the window open because it's still 80 some degrees at night, if not 90 some degrees. So I would have to turn the AC on. However, I don't blast the AC and put it on 60. The boys try to get away with putting it on 60, and I don't. I keep it at a comfortable like 74, and I'm okay with that. So I don't blast the AC either. What's your favorite quote from a TV show, movie, or book? I don't know. I honestly don't have one. You know, I really like the one that Dumbledore says, the one that Michelle Bendy made a cross-stitch chart for, soon we must choose between what is right and what is easy, I believe is the exact verbiage of it. I really love that one. But other than that, I don't have like something that I refer to, so it's hard to think of one on the spot. How old were you when you had your first celebrity crush, and who was it? Oh man, I don't know how old I was, but as far back as I can recall, Leonardo DiCaprio was my first celebrity crush. When I first started getting into that kind of thing was Titanic. My uncle took me to go watch Titanic in the theater, and we ended up watching it in theaters 3 times. And I ended up seeing it a 4th time with a friend, and I was obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio. I literally believed that I was going to grow up to be Mrs. DiCaprio. I think a lot of little girls thought that at the time. Let's see. I don't know how old I was though. What's one thing that can instantly make your day better? I don't know. Going to bed. Because then it's over. Honestly, just peace and quiet. If I'm having a really hard time with something, I just want a nice, quiet, relaxing session to myself. Do you have any pet peeves? I do, and I'm not going to get into all of them because I see a lot of them online all of the time. My main pet peeve is people chewing with their mouth open, like smacking and chomping down on their food. There's an actual phobia called that. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but there's a real phobia for people who, let me get some tweezers real quick. There's a real name for that, for people who don't like to hear people eat. That is me. What else? I don't know. Grammar. When people try to be the grammar police and they're misspelling words, that bothers me. Mostly because it's like, if you're gonna call somebody out, then you better make sure that you're not guilty of the same thing type of situation. What is happening? Okay. So I'm just using these tweezers to get the glue because I put too much glue in my pen and it's kind of falling out. My computer's gonna die. So what meal is your favorite? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I would say lunch. Dinner, it's usually the heaviest meal of the day for us, and I hate the way I feel if I eat too much. And breakfast, I'm just not a big eater in the morning. I'm not a morning person at all. And so when I wake up in the morning, I just want to drink my coffee and be left alone. I'm not a big breakfast person. My husband loves freaking breakfast. He won't eat lunch and he won't eat dinner, but he has to have breakfast. I'm not saying he doesn't eat, because he does, but breakfast is the one meal that he will like go out of his way to not miss. Let's see, what song always gets you out on the dance floor? I don't dance, first of all, because I don't know how, and I'm very shy about it. But when I was a teenager and I used to dance, or actually even a little bit younger, my husband and I have gone to the bar a few times and I've danced. Once I get a couple of beers in me, I think that happens to a lot of us. But I would say anything by Pitbull. As sad as that is to admit. Let's see. When you were a kid, did you eat the crust on your sandwich or not? I don't remember, to be completely honest. I didn't eat a lot of sandwiches as a kid. Mostly because we just didn't do sandwiches. My grandma usually made my food because I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house and we ate a lot of beans and rice. So, you know, and like chile con carne and stuff like that. We just never really had sandwiches. And as I got older, I eat the crust, because I guess I didn't start really eating sandwiches until I got older, and I always ate the crust. What activity instantly calms you? Cross-stitching. Cross-stitching calms me more than diamond painting, because cross-stitching is so much more easier to get going than a diamond painting is, because you need tools and all kinds of stuff to get going with diamond painting, and with cross-stitching you just need your needle. How would you spend your birthday? My birthday, I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I celebrated my birthday. I talked about this too in another WIP and chat more recently, about not celebrating my birthday. Not like intentionally because I'm embarrassed about my age or anything like that, but just because I don't put my time and energy into celebrating anything for my birthday. My birthday is in April and my husband's birthday is in April, and our anniversary is also March 30th. And so between all of that, it's like we don't really celebrate our birthdays. And then in May, we have 3 birthdays because 2 of our kids have birthdays in May. And our nephew has a birthday in May. So it's kind of a lot in that like 60-day span that my husband's birthday and my birthday just don't really get celebrated a lot. What do you do in your commute to and from work? Nothing, because I don't go anywhere. I work from home. Favorite type of exercise? Yes, I love running. I have to admit I haven't ran in a couple of years. More recently, about 2 years it's been since I ran. I miss it every day. It is what it is. Mostly time doesn't allow for running. And then by the end of the day, I'm just so tired that I don't want to exercise. So, it is what it is, I guess. There's still a bunch of these questions left. Let me check the time. I think I'm going to skip a couple of them. What are we on? Making sure I didn't miss any phone calls. 33 minutes. I guess we can go longer. My favorite season, I think I already mentioned it. So fall is my favorite season, and it asks why. I talk about that in my favorite holiday question, because I love the weather during fall. It's just comfortable. I don't know, it's kind of nostalgia for me. I don't know what it is, but fall time just brings me back to when I was a little kid and running around outside and with the wind in my face. I don't know. I sound like a dog. But fall's my favorite season. I love it. The best joke I've ever heard? I don't know. I tend to not repeat a lot of jokes because they're mean. My husband tells a lot of jokes that sometimes I find funny and sometimes I don't find them funny, because he tells a lot of mean jokes. Not like racist jokes about like people, but in the family, like we're the type of family that makes fun of each other and like cracks jokes, on each other, stuff like that, because they can take jokes.
My most used phone app. The next question is, what is my most used phone app? YouTube, obviously, hands down. Next to YouTube, I'd say maybe Instagram, and then probably Phase 10, because that's my favorite game right now. Phase 10 and Farmville. Would you rather cook or order in? I would rather order in every day of the week, only because I have a big family, and not only do we make a lot of food, but I have to clean up afterwards. And when we order in, it's literally toss everything in the trash, and that's it. Honestly, that's it. I'm not a big, like, I don't love to cook. I don't hate to cook. But if I can choose, I will order. Because, like I said, it's a lot of work when you have a big family like mine. Have you ever disliked something and then changed your mind? Yeah. So when I was a kid, my mom, I mentioned this earlier, was previously married, and he was a white gentleman. My mom and I are Hispanic, and we ate a lot of like non-Mexican food. We never ate tacos, we never ate tostadas, we never ate anything of that nature. And we always had hot dogs, spaghetti, cabbage soup, I don't know, just like over and over. Like, we didn't have enchiladas, we didn't have no chili at all. And so still to this day, I still don't like hot dogs. I still don't like spaghetti. I will eat it, don't get me wrong. We make hot dogs and we make spaghetti and I will eat them, but it's literally maybe once a month, because that's all I can handle. Like, I just can't. And if my kids want it more often than that, then I'll make myself something else. No big deal. But the one that I changed my mind on is cabbage. We had a lot of cabbage soup when I was a kid, and I don't know if it's because I got tired of it or what the situation was, but I didn't want to touch cabbage for years. So now I freaking love cabbage. I can eat cabbage all day long. We make it all the time when we grill, and we put it, when we make caldo, we put it in our soup. That's what caldo is soup. And it's good. It's really good. I love it. My favorite board game. I don't have a favorite board game. I like card games. My husband's family is really into card games, and we played a lot of Rummy and 21, I think it's called. And my stepson's girlfriend recently got us into Phase 10, and we've been playing that. I especially love it because the little kids can play it, and it's just fun. So we've been playing that. Uno, of course, classic. I feel like that's a classic card game to play with your family. How do you take your coffee? I take my coffee with cream and sugar, like this. Oops, I'm running out of file space, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Cream and sugar. I pour the coffee in. I put probably about an ounce of creamer. Vanilla creamer, has to be vanilla creamer, not the powdered kind, preferably the coffee mate, the one that comes in the blue container with the red lid, and about a tablespoon of sugar. I used to use 2 teaspoons of sugar. Lately I've been doing 1 tablespoon, which I feel like is excessive, and I can taste it in my coffee, and I don't know why I've been making it that way. But anyway, I'm gonna stop there because I ran out of file space, and I don't know if this is gonna flip over to a new clip, or if it's gonna cut me off. So I do need to erase a couple of videos that I've already uploaded to YouTube, and that'll help for the next video. But for today, I think I'm gonna stop. So I should remember where I left off last time, and if I don't, I'm sorry. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions left in the likes and dislikes section. So I'll try to answer those at the beginning of the next time I answer these here for you guys. So here's my teeny tiny little start on Gloria West's Legend of the Wolf.
And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.